I straight up started arguing with God. He's like, I have to send you back now. And I was like, no. I was begging
Hmm.
to remain with him. He said, look, and I see them sticking a chest tube in me.
All right, everybody, we are back with Stefan Haskins. Okay, from the first episode, if you recall, this man was shot and killed during a very intense flashback that he had, and what you're about to hear next, like the next evolution of this story, y'all, is nothing short of cosmic. All right, this man is about to go to heaven and talk to God. I'm not going to give it. I'm not going to give it away. We're going to let the man himself talk about it. This story, y'all, brace yourself. I hope you're sitting down. We are about to hear not only Stefan's physical transformation. I mean, the man was shot 7 times, 3 times in the head, and died several times. Major physical transformation there. But the most important part of this story and the story to come is his spiritual transformation by way of a near-death experience. And when I say near-death, it's not that's not very
Yeah,
he
I agree.
actually really died. He didn't nearly die. He really died. So this is a death experience. Now he did come back, mind you, thank God, because otherwise we wouldn't hear this beautiful story. But it's important to know that this guy, he's the real deal. He died, and he went somewhere, and he came back, and he's here to tell us this amazing story. So without further ado, I think we take it right from when you're getting shot. Right, I know you don't remember getting shot. If I recall, you the last thing you remember is hearing sirens, and then the rest happens. You get shot. Boom, literally, boom. What do you remember next?
Boom, 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 boom. I don't remember any of that part.
Yep.
Um, the next thing I remember is looking down at my body and having no clue really what was going on at first, and it was pain free. I believe I was in and out of death at this point
Hmm.
because I was choking on blood, so my body was like trying to stay alive, but my brain was like suffocating,
Yeah.
and that was the. It wasn't the bullets to the head that killed me. It was the 2 bullets to the chest. So those are the bullets that killed me initially, and then of course the massive blood loss in the hospital and a subsequent cardiac arrest. So multiple things killed me, and I wanted to be very clear that from the moment that I entered the tunnel that we get to in a moment to the day I woke up, I wasn't there for any of it. So like they said I died 3 times and clinically, and they said this and that, but I was with God that whole time. You know what I'm saying? I was with my angels, and I was like so happy because I didn't think I'd ever have to come back here again.
Wow. Wow.
But
So,
here I am though, and I'm happy.
here you are, and I'm happy, and I'm happy that you're happy, and everyone's happy, man. Because get ready, y'all. Is all about to say, all I'm gonna say is just get ready. So you said you were coming in and out of death. Do you remember anything about the transition? Like, did it feel a certain way to leave your body? And then what and what did it maybe feel like to come back into your body? And was there like a flip back and forth kind of thing that was happening?
There was the end. I would say it was just darkness. So I wasn't sure what was happening because at first it was like a pop out, pop in, pop out, pop in, and then while all this is happening, I'm just like I wasn't scared because I didn't understand what was happening, but I didn't really care because all of life's problems had just been solved for me,
Huh.
and um, and then the moment came where I felt this like I just felt like I felt like I swallowed golf ball. That's the only way I know how to describe it, because it felt like the size of a golf ball. And if you think about it, it makes sense. It's the size of your throat. And apparently that was blood, because my lungs had not completely filled with blood. So that swallow of blood was my last attempt at breath. I swallowed that, and then all of a sudden I was in a tunnel. And this tunnel, man, like it was so cool because I was looking at myself from like third person. Like, I'm sitting here watching myself go through this tunnel, right? And it's all black all around me. There's no fear. I don't remember feeling emotion. I do remember feeling curiosity.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like I remember being like, where am I? Where am I going? But it wasn't any sort of like fear-based anxiety. It was more curiosity.
Interesting.
And I was just getting closer and closer to love.
Okay.
Right. So as I'm going through this tunnel, I'm just different colors, right? So I'm a ball of color, and this is my soul. There's no question to me now. This is me. This is whom resides within this body.
So wait a second. So when you say you saw yourself, you didn't see like a human body, but you still recognized it as yourself.
Yeah, no, I was just like a blob of color, but I knew it was me. There was no question it was me.
How about that? That is amazing.
Yeah, I know, right? Like I didn't even. There was no question that it was me. It was just like, and there was no thought. There was no second thought. It was just, what am I doing?
And when you say that all the world's problems for you are gone now, and there's no fear, was there anything back in life that you wanted to be back for, or or in that moment? You said you were getting closer and closer to love. Like to me, this just sounds like amazing euphoria. Was there anything earthly on your mind, tugging you back at any?
Absolutely not.
Wow.
I've heard stories about people that have had near-death experiences, and they say that they spoke to God, and God gave them the option to come back. I definitely did not have an option. I was not trying to come back. I was home, dude.
Wow, that's awesome. So even if someone came to you and said, you want to go back, you'd be like, nah, son. No.
There's a lot of people I love there, but I feel like I could do a lot more great in this realm.
Yeah.
And they'd have no idea. They might fear or sorrow my death, but they would have no idea that like how much of a celebration that I was in, and that I would remain in, and that I would make sure that they would join me on a peaceful path.
So do you feel a progression? I mean, you're definitely moving through this tunnel. And you're euphoric, right? Then you mentioned you're moving towards more love. Like describe to me like that next evolution, what it felt like, where you think you were going, etc.
Okay, so I had no idea where I was going, and I didn't know when the tunnel was going to end, but it didn't take long for me to evolve into pure light.
Pure light. Wow. Yeah. So tell me what that transition felt like. Was it even a transition, or was it sudden, or was it like a wave, or like what happened there?
It was sudden. And it was the most beautiful thing that it's just it's indescribable. I just remember, I understand now that all color is vibration, right? So every color means something, and that's why all colors combined equal the color white, and that's why God, you see him as pure white, because he is all energy combined.
Yeah.
So when I got into like past the tunnel, and all of a sudden it's bright, right? Just super bright. There's a incredibly bright light at the end of this stream, but that's God. There ain't no question about it. I just remember like feeling so euphoric, knowing that I was home, because I recognized it as soon as I got there, and I remember all my angels that were waiting for me, like what they were passing to me, in terms of communicating with me, was pure energy. So instead of me telling you, I love you. I felt them saying like, we missed you. We've always been here for you. Like it, and I remember with that in that moment, I knew everything. I was like, I know you guys have. I can't
Yeah.
believe I'm so ignorant.
How about that?
um, and it's just so incredible that like they're with me right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yours are with you.
Yep. Wow. That is awesome, man. I want to hear a little bit more details about where you are. I remember in our video you said you were in water and on a stream or something like that. Talk about that a little bit more. Like what? How did that feel? Could you feel the water? Could you feel grass? I mean, like what was it? Was it like a river, like you would see in a mountain somewhere?
I see it right now, like it was yesterday. You don't feel things the same way that if I were to tell you felt water or felt that, that's not how it feels. So you feel the colors.
Wow.
The water was blue, okay, not a blue that I can describe, but I could feel what the energy of blue felt like, and it was
Wow.
freedom.
Wow.
And the green on both sides of the water where the angels were was love. I felt like I didn't reach over. I can because you're not physical,
Yeah.
and everything that you feel is like you can look at something and you're passing energy back and forth, because everything's alive.
So it's like
So
resonating, like resonant frequencies with stuff. Like you're resonating with the green and the blue, and
yeah, so
wow.
I'm open and truly we are as we are here. You become one again when you die, and so as far as like the grass, the water, I was feeling these all different emotions, and they all felt so incredible. And then the angels, I felt a love deeper than any love I had ever known up until that moment. It was because I'd known them for. If you want to try to put time on it, we'll call it thousands of years. But we both know there's no such thing as time.
Yes.
Nothing's linear in the next in the next dimensions, and especially when you get there, everything is combined. Everything is one.
Unbelievable stuff, man. Yeah, we have so much to unpack there, but in the meantime, let's continue on this little because I want to know a little bit more about the angels. I believe we had a discussion about this at one point. Could you perceive what they looked like, or was it more just a presence, or a lot of people say that they're like very symmetrical and stuff like that, and
I remember exactly what they look like. It's just, do you know how I would tell you that they look like goats?
okay,
Like Casper, but not
ah,
really. They were
gotcha,
like um, pure in color,
okay,
like a clearish white love, and they were floating, and I recognized each one of them individually immediately.
huh,
You know what
okay,
I'm saying? Like,
okay,
I just remember that nobody has loved me as much as these angels had loved me
hmm.
up until this point.
How
I gotta
about
keep
how about
beating
that?
that bit.
That's
Yeah.
amazing, man. That's amazing.
I've yet to be with God. So
Yep.
this is the most love I had received up until this point.
Gotcha, gotcha. Last thing I'll ask about the angels here. Roughly how many of them were there? Was it like, hey, there was 5, there was 10, there was 100?
I would say 7 because I remember like 4
Mm-hmm.
and 3.
Okay.
But
Huh.
then I kept telling myself that it was an even number on both sides, right? So it was either 3 and 3 or it was 4 and 4. But I feel like I remember there being more on one side than the other.
Okay. But it
But
wasn't. But it wasn't something like 50 or 100 or angels. It was more like a handful kind of thing.
yeah, it was
Okay.
just a handful. Yeah. Are you
Awesome.
trying to like depress me? Maybe you'll have 100.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. But this is amazing because this overlaps with my vision of heaven, man. Like I did ayahuasca and baptized myself full immersion in my own bathtub upstairs while on ayahuasca. It was freaking amazing. When I came out of the water, I saw what I would amount to heaven, and it was about 7 or 8 angels on either side of and there was a path. I couldn't really tell if it was water or not, but there was definitely this celestial looking path, and there was like four like what I would call angels on one side and some on the other. And to me, what they looked like were, you ever see that Hubble Space Telescope image of the pillars of creation? To me, this is what I saw. This is what the angels look like. It was basically a way more colorful and beautiful version of what I just sent you, but in a symmetrical cosmic way. There was like a lot of auras around them, but it ultimately looked like these pillars of nebulae.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and there was like 3 or 4 on one side and 3 or 4 on the other side. So it kind of matches what you're saying. Yeah, yeah. So to me, that's what mine kind of looked like, but a more spiritually and geometrically a cosmic version of. I know we're looking at a cosmic image. I mean, that's a friggin' nebula, but that matches my story. So what you said, there was only about 7 or 8 of them, and they were on either side of what looked like a I don't know, like a path. You could call it a river, and just like you said, off in the distance was this beautiful bright light source. So yeah, similar kind of story there. Unbelievable. So tell me what happens next.
So I'm still like on the water, right? But it's like I'm floating on the stream,
Hmm.
and I'm like passing by them, and at the end is God, and they're like just shooting me all kinds of just like, "Hey, dude, I love you so much," um,
Huh.
type of energy.
Yeah, yeah.
After that, the only thing that was on my mind was, oh my goodness, I have to be with God right now. Like that was this was a this is I just wish if you could think back to the moment that you felt more loved than you ever felt in your life. I was like, I haven't seen you in so long, and I love you so much, and where have you been? And I didn't think about, oh crap, I was a bad Christian, or I didn't do this right, or I didn't follow the dogmatic. I believed in God, and I think religion and the dogma kind of backed me away from it. But then I thought because of that I had failed Him, and everything was so reassured in that moment that nothing mattered, that I'm loved no matter what.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep. Unconditional, unflappable
unconditional,
love.
unflappable.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. I have had a glimpse of that myself, but I haven't. I'll tell you this much. I'm fully convinced that the only way that you can take in that much love is in spirit form. In flesh form, that much love is so potent it can kill you. But in spirit form, you can be folded and melded into that for all of eternity. And then, what a better place to be, So tell me about, you see that bright light off in the distance. You know it's God. And you mentioned how you're going down the river and these angels are cheering for you almost. Were you able to merge and meld with that light source, or what was your interaction with that light
Oh
source?
yeah, yeah. So like when I got like I said, I felt like I was floating. So I was like, when I was like, boom, the light had overcome me. I just knew like I just knew how much I'd always been loved. Um, and it was so beautiful because
Hmm.
I didn't know that anybody loved me that much.
Wow.
And especially the person that we're told judges us and tells us and we're told that not to disappoint, and we're told this and that, and then we feel bad, and maybe we'll go times without talking to him, and then we'll forget about him. But
Hmm. It's beautiful, man.
he never forgets about you, you know,
Yep.
and he's just always waiting until you come back. And I was so happy. I was so happy um, to be with him. But when I was with God, um, everything that he said was full, was full of love, and
Hmm.
I just never wanted to leave him. And I don't remember what we talked about, but he showed me my body again,
Hmm.
and he's like, "I have to send you back now," and I was like, "No," and I straight up started arguing with God. Okay, I was begging
Hmm.
to remain with him.
Yeah.
And he said, "Look," and I see them sticking a chest tube in me, and I'm dead. And I'm trying to pull them off of me because I feel like I'm within reach, right, at
Okay.
this point.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to pull them off of me so that they don't succeed in bringing me back to life. And the cop broke the chest tube in my chest, and that was it. That was all of a sudden. It was like I didn't go through the tunnel again. I didn't. It was just boom. I was right back to where I was, and he showed me that I had just died, and I remember being overcome with just pure joy again. So the day that I first regained consciousness, um, I remember the nurses like trying to calm me down because I didn't know where I was. I remember God saying something about me returning and then arguing, and then I'm here, and I start panicking. I start freaking out, and the nurse tries to calm me down, and then they go get the doctors and the surgeons. The surgeons happen to be near apparently one of the main surgeons, and they came in and they started talking to me about like hey, calm down. Do you know what happened? Blah blah. And I just I started listening because they're trying to comfort me and anyways. So he was telling me about like you were shot. There was a terrible accident. Um, you've been through a lot these past few days. We didn't think you were gonna make it. They saved you right there on the scene. They were able to get a chest tube in you and then get you in an ambulance and then get you back here where we were able to revive you a few more times and stabilize you. And I'm hearing this, but what I know is that there's contradicting information that I'm sure of, and that's what I was like. But they broke the chest tube, and he's like, no, 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 that's the chest tube saved your life, you know.
Huh.
And I was like, no, they broke it. They broke it. So I still didn't understand because he didn't really give me a good explanation how I was alive, because I knew that he was misinformed. Anyway, a little bit later, the surgeon came back in the room, and that's when he's like looking at these papers. And that's when he said, how did you know that they did have to use chest tubes? He told the nurse that, he's like, look at this. And I said, because I was watching. And he said, what do you mean you were watching? And I said, from above, I
Hmm.
was watching them. I saw them break the chest tube, and he stopped talking. And he just his jaw was just mouth was wide open, and he was looking at me in my eyes, and he probably saw pure love. And I believe I changed his life that day, and he changed my life that day.